Hollywood's worst-kept secret has hit the Real Housewives hard. Ozempic and similar weight loss drugs have transformed cast members so dramatically that fans barely recognize them. From 30-pound drops to shocking new looks, these housewives prove the medication works. But at what cost? Here's who's admitted using it. Housewife 1, Heather Gay. When Heather Gay showed up to Lisa Barlow's Bezos party during the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City Season 5 premiere, fans couldn't believe their eyes. The Bad Mormon author looked completely different, wearing a strapless pink leather dress that showed off a dramatically slimmer figure. When cast members asked about her new look, Heather didn't hide the truth. She proudly announced, "Ozempic, baby!" In her confessional, she added, "It's been a long, overdue glow-up. Thank God for modern medicine, that's all I can say." Heather revealed she lost 25 pounds using the medication. She joked about finally cracking the code to get Mary Cosby to like her, saying, "I lost 25 pounds and now Mary Cosby loves me. I've gone from inbred to pretty and thin." But Heather's journey with Ozempic wasn't instant success. She told People magazine in November 2023 that she'd been on the Ozempic train for a long time, but hadn't really seen much results initially. She said she hadn't had massive results, but enough for people to notice, which was great. What struck Heather most was how differently people treated her after losing weight. She revealed that when you lose 5 pounds, people are nicer to you. She didn't know why, but said, "It's just the way the world works," and that made her sad for women. Still, she was happy she was down 5 pounds. By the time Season 5 aired in September 2024, Heather had shed the full 25 pounds and looked unrecognizable compared to earlier seasons. Her face was noticeably thinner, her jawline more defined, and her overall body shape completely different. During the Impact X Nightline docuseries, The Skinny Confessions After Ozempic in February 2024, Heather addressed criticism that using the medication was a cop-out and that she was no longer relatable. She said it was disappointing and sad to know that body positivity was all a big lie, because it's better to not be overweight. Heather admitted she had to give up the banner of being a relatable figure for body positivity. She acknowledged she's still the same person inside. She feels the same. She liked herself then, she likes herself now. Ozempic just became available and worked for her. Housewife 2, Emily Simpson. Emily Simpson's transformation might be the most dramatic of any Real Housewife. The Real Housewives of Orange County star lost over 40 pounds through a combination of Ozempic, liposuction, and intense gym workouts, becoming virtually unrecognizable from her earlier seasons. When filming for RHOC Season 17 wrapped in November 2022, Emily was at the heaviest weight she'd ever been. She admitted she had a nervous breakdown after their showrunner sent her a photo from the title card shoot. She didn't even recognize herself. She was shocked, thinking, "Who is that?" before realizing it was her. Emily confessed she really neglected herself during those 4 months of filming. She ate too much, drank too much, didn't go to the gym, didn't work out, and felt really down, really depressed, really dark when they finished filming. That's when her doctor suggested Ozempic. Emily went in for blood work and discovered she was pre-diabetic with high cholesterol and 0 testosterone. The doctor recommended trying semaglutide, which is Ozempic, so Emily agreed. She started taking Ozempic in December 2022. At that time, she didn't even know what Ozempic was. The doctor told her it was a new weight loss drug that had just been FDA approved, and it was great. The doctor thought it would really help her lose some weight and feel better and get working out again. Emily did that for about 1 month. She said it was great for her diet and really kickstarted her into eating better and eating healthier because it made her feel like crap and nothing tasted good. However, she only took the medication for a short period, losing between 5 and 10 pounds on it. The reason she stopped was the side effects. Emily didn't like the way it made her feel lethargic and gave her no energy, which was hard with 3 little kids. But it did make her feel full and gave her a refresh. In January 2023, Emily underwent liposuction on her arms and had a breast reduction and lift. She explained that just the surgery alone made a huge difference in her overall look, having thinner arms and a smaller chest. She was so happy with the surgery. But what really transformed Emily's body was her gym routine. She started working out 7 days a week, like she was training for a fitness competition. She completely cut out processed foods and sugar. She reduced her alcohol intake dramatically, barely drinking at all in the 8 months following her transformation. By the time RH Chalk Season 18 premiered in June 2023, Emily looked like a completely different person. She'd gone from around 172 pounds down to approximately 132 pounds. Her face was slimmer, her arms were toned and muscular, and her entire body composition had changed. Around age 42, Emily had gained 40 pounds. She told fans it wasn't until age 47 that she was finally able to get it off and feel like her old self again. She made it clear, though, that she rocked a bathing suit on TV for 5 years and never felt ugly or not confident in herself or her body. The thing that bothered Emily most was people constantly saying, "Ozempic, Ozempic," when commenting on her appearance. She felt it discounted all the hard work she put in. She wanted credit for getting up at 6 a.m. every morning and busting her butt in the gym every single day. Emily appeared on Good Morning America in May 2024 to discuss the Ozempic shaming she experienced. She said people were harder about Ozempic than the liposuction, which confused her. People got really angry about the drug use, and she didn't understand the anger. Housewife 3, Dolores Catania. Dolores Catania of the Real Housewives of New Jersey became one of the most vocal supporters of weight loss medications, openly discussing her use of both Ozempic and Mounjaro. She proudly admitted she'd been using these drugs for about 2 years and lost nearly 30 pounds. In a July 2024 interview, Dolores said she kind of broke the seal on being honest about using these medications. She explained that with Ozempic, it had been a life changer for her and her boyfriend Paul Connell, who lost 60 pounds on it. The health benefits extended beyond just weight loss. Paul no longer had to take a certain blood pressure medication after losing the weight, which Dolores said was really positive. She personally liked the medication and knew it was time for her to wean herself off or go on a lower dose. Dolores revealed that doctors told her there's not really anything wrong with staying on it long term, but she emphasized that you must always go through a real doctor who knows what they're doing and that research is everything. She told The Sun in 2024 that she'd been on Ozempic for about 2 years before switching to Mounjaro, another type 2 diabetes medication that lowers blood sugar and controls appetite. The drug reportedly helped Dolores avoid junk food like cake, chips, and dip. However, Dolores was quick to credit regular exercise for playing a big role in her weight loss. She admitted she hates working out, but it was starting to feel good to her. She and Paul hit the gym together 3 to 4 times a week. The transformation was noticeable on RHONJ. Dolores looked significantly slimmer in seasons 13 and 14 compared to her earlier appearances. Her face appeared more sculpted, and her body was noticeably leaner. The combination of medication and exercise clearly worked for her. What set Dolores apart from other housewives was her complete honesty and lack of shame about using the medications. She never tried to hide it or pretend she achieved her weight loss naturally. She owned her choice and encouraged others to make informed decisions with their doctors. Housewife 4, Margaret Josephs. Margaret Josephs of the Real Housewives of New Jersey initially tried to keep her weight loss methods private, but eventually admitted she wasn't using Ozempic specifically. Instead, she revealed she was on peptide and hormone replacement therapy. In March 2023, Margaret confessed to using injections to help shed pounds. She told Insider that she takes them as a shot once a week, and that helps her lose weight and improves her metabolism. Everyone kept telling her she looked great, although some of her co-stars thought some of her weight loss wasn't a great idea. But Margaret thought that was ridiculous and believed in whatever works for her. Margaret described the effects as life-changing. She said her skin had gotten tighter, her bones were stronger, she was sleeping better, and she had more energy. The combination of benefits made the treatment worth it for her. She reportedly lost 22 pounds using these treatments. While not Ozempic specifically, peptide therapy works similarly by affecting hormones and metabolism. The results were visible on RHONJ, with Margaret appearing noticeably slimmer in recent seasons. Margaret's transformation wasn't as dramatic as some other housewives, but it was definitely noticeable. Her face looked slightly thinner, and her overall frame appeared more petite. She maintained her signature style, but in smaller sizes. Housewife 5, Caroline Stanbury. Caroline Stanbury of the Real Housewives of Dubai opened up about using Ozempic after going through what she called a midlife crisis at age 45. She revealed her struggles during an episode of her podcast, Uncut and Uncensored with Caroline Stanbury. Caroline explained that after 40, everyone knows it's very, very hard to lose weight. She'd undergone 2 rounds of IVF treatment, which can lead to weight gain due to fluid retention. She found it nearly impossible to shed the extra pounds through diet and exercise alone. That's when she turned to Ozempic. Caroline was refreshingly honest about her use of the medication, refusing to hide or feel ashamed about it. She saw it as a tool to help her achieve her health goals during a difficult time in her life. The transformation was visible on the Real Housewives of Dubai. Caroline appeared slimmer and more toned in later episodes compared to when she first joined the franchise. Her face looked more defined, and her body appeared leaner overall. What made Caroline's admission significant was her refusal to pretend she achieved the weight loss naturally. She was open about both her facelift and her Ozempic use, setting an example of honesty in a world where many celebrities deny using any assistance. Housewife 6, Dolores Catania's boyfriend, Paul. While not a housewife himself, Paul Connell deserves mention because his transformation was even more dramatic than most of the women. Dolores Catania's boyfriend lost 60 pounds using Ozempic, completely changing his appearance. According to Dolores, Paul's weight loss had significant health benefits. He no longer needed to take blood pressure medication after shedding the weight. The transformation was so successful that it inspired Dolores to continue her own journey with the medication. Paul's dramatic weight loss showed just how effective these medications can be when combined with lifestyle changes. His transformation was a testament to the power of GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic when used properly under medical supervision. Several Real Housewives have been accused of using Ozempic, but vehemently denied it. Kyle Richards of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills has repeatedly stated she's never taken Ozempic, never tried Ozempic, and isn't taking Mounjaro either. She attributes her weight loss to cutting out sugar, alcohol, and carbs while working out every single day. Kyle clapped back at accusations on social media and on the 2Ts in a Pod podcast, saying she works her ass off and really resents when people think she's just paying to get it done. She revealed she currently weighs 117 pounds, down from her heaviest of 132 pounds during a trip to Italy in 2022. Gina Kirschenheiter of The Real Housewives of Orange County weighed herself in a May 2024 TikTok video to prove to fans she wasn't using Ozempic. She wrote that she was weighing herself to silence the noise. At 105.9 pounds and a size 6, she pointed out that if she wasn't eating, she'd be a size 2. She credited stopping drinking a year and a half ago for her weight loss. Brynn Whitfield of The Real Housewives of New York City also shut down speculation about her glow-up between seasons 14 and 15. She told Us Weekly that when you're in reality TV, it's so natural for people to assume you got plastic surgery or you're on Ozempic. She said she actually hates Ozempic and would never put needles in herself. Not every Real Housewife had success with Ozempic. Cynthia Bailey of The Real Housewives of Atlanta revealed her failed attempt to lose weight with the injectable medication. She said it didn't curb her appetite at all. Cynthia told fans that some people can't eat on Ozempic, but not her. She was eating appetizers, a regular meal, and dessert. It didn't stop anything for her. When she saw it worked for other people and it didn't work for her, it made her depressed. She wondered what was wrong with her and why it wasn't working for her. Her experience shows that Ozempic doesn't work for everyone. As more Real Housewives admit to using Ozempic and similar medications, questions arise about long-term use and sustainability. Dolores Catania mentioned that doctors say there's nothing wrong with staying on it long-term, but she knows it's time to wean herself off or go to a lower dose. The bigger question is what happens when people stop taking the medication? Studies show that most people regain weight after stopping Ozempic unless they've made permanent lifestyle changes. This means the dramatic transformations we're seeing might not be sustainable without continued medication use. There are also unknown long-term effects since these drugs haven't been used for weight loss purposes for very long. While they're FDA approved for diabetes, their long-term safety profile for weight loss in non-diabetic people isn't fully established. From Heather Gay's 25-pound drop to Emily Simpson's 40-pound transformation, Ozempic has changed Real Housewives in dramatic ways. Some own it proudly, while others deny use despite obvious changes. Love it or hate it, the medication is reshaping reality TV bodies. What's your take? Comment and subscribe.